Hello. It says live now. It says you are live, so I presume that we are live. This is our first time trying this, so we'll wait and see. It says live 11 seconds. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Hello. We're live now. So hello everyone. Welcome to our first stream.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, put hi in the comments if you can hear our voices. We can see that we've got a couple of viewers at the moment, so that's great. Yeah, let us know. Oh, there we go. Hey, yeah, people can hear us. Hey, let's have a look at some comments. There we go. Hey, change the words too. Hope you're having a great day or evening.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, Cassidy. Thanks for coming.
Cassidy. Thanks for coming.
So we'll wait for people to confirm that they're in, and then we'll start with the show.
Sorry we're a few minutes late, everyone. We had some technical difficulties getting on, so I think we managed to sort it, which is good.
Oh, well, thank you, Cassidy. We'll take that. Yeah, that's great. We can start the show off. I think we're all ready to go. So just to introduce ourselves, my name's Sam.
My name's Jack.
And we're just tech enthusiasts, fans. I'm actually an owner of an Android phone, but I've dabbled in Apple products as well. I've got an iMac. I just love tech. So this is why we started this whole channel. And we thought we'd do a little live stream, which is pretty relaxed and chilled, and we can just talk about some tech. So that's me.
So Sam loves Android. I've always been an iPhone or an Apple kind of person, and actually when we started the channel in 2011, I think we always had those differences, and Sam's always Android and I was always iPhone, but we just love technology, and that's why we're doing it. Really, we just have a real passion for tech. So thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Yeah, sorry about that start of the live stream. It's our first time doing it, so let's see where it goes. We've got a few topics to talk about today, don't we, Jack?
We do indeed, yeah. So we've got a few different things to talk about, which is really nice. So one thing is the Apple glasses and the iPhone SE, some retro tech, and then what else? Is there anything else?
Yeah, and we want to just talk to you guys, see your opinion and thoughts on these subjects. So we're going to start off with Android Glass, Apple Glass. I wish they were released.
Apple Glass, yeah. Thanks, thanks, Charlie. By the way, Jack doesn't know what Android is. To be fair, that's a fair point.
Yeah, I don't think he would know what to do if he picked up an Android phone. Have you ever used an Android phone, Jack?
I've dibbled in and out, but very briefly. But to be honest, not fully. I've tended to go back to iPhone, so I've used Android for like review purposes and things like that. But typically, I tend to go straight back afterwards, which I know I have that biasness. But
well, hi from Rob. So hi, Rob. Hope you're well.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Mandy as well. Hope you're well.
Thanks hi, Mandy. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, hope you're well. So. Anime Switch says, what are these glasses? Right, we're going to get onto the glasses. We're going to show you what they're about and see if we think it's going to be worth the money, if you should get them, and yeah, just let's have a look at them. So if I bring up the screen, Jack, do you have anything you want to show on your screen, or should I?
Just show your screen, Sam. That's fine.
Yeah. Let's add it to stream. So if we have a look at it, Apple Glasses release date, price, news, and leaks. So Apple Glasses have been leaked. Basically, you know, the Google Glasses were about, and they looked a bit sci-fi. They didn't look that great. They're kind of flop, weren't they, Jack?
Yeah, so Google Glass, I was actually really excited about the concept when it came out, and then I was actually quite sad that it flopped so badly. I'm not sure why. I know that the kind of the futuristicness of the Google Glass could be why, but for some reason it just never really kicks off. So it was quite interesting when I saw that Apple were going to create their own kind of version, their Apple Glass, which is pretty cool. And the kind of rumors have come by this guy called John Prosser. I think that's how you say his name. And from what I've seen, he's quite known for his things being correct and accurate. So it's quite interesting that this could be a concept, which is really interesting. And from what I've seen, the price is starting at $499, so that's about £409. But it could potentially be more than that if you pay for a prescription for your glasses. But I think the idea is you don't need a prescription, so you can wear them with or without a prescription, which is quite cool. But actually, that seems cheaper than what I thought compared to initial Apple products. I don't know what you think about that, Sam, as well, or what.
Yeah, I think that price point's probably off the mark. I would add an extra $499 to that price mark, to be fair. I think it's the first kind of device of its time. I know there was the Google Wear and Google Glass. Obviously, that was a big flop, but that was an expensive device. I think they were going for over $1,000 at least. So $499. I think it's going to be more expensive than that, to be honest. I mean it's Apple. Let's say it's going to have a big cost to it.
If they did, that would be just incredible. I also saw, I think it was on the Daily Mail or something like that. So you have to kind of question how reliable the source necessarily is. But I saw that they might potentially make another set which could mimic like the glasses that Steve Jobs wears, and I think if they do that, that would be a lot more expensive. But I think one of the key differences between the Apple glasses and Google Glass is that they want to make them so that everybody can wear them, which is quite nice. To wear Google Glass, it looks so cool, but you kind of think, would you actually wear that outside? Where I can imagine the Apple Glass is trying to appeal to the more mainstream market, which I think would work quite well if they put it off.
Yeah, we got a question from Rob here. It says, do these also work on an Android? Apparently, they won't. You will need an iOS device, so an iPhone, to be connected with the glasses. It's going to be powered and run through the iPhone. So it's all streaming the data from your iPhone to the glasses. Now, they do look pretty cool. Apparently, they're going to have a sleek design. So I had this YouTube video up on screen. If I'll pop it back up quickly, this is everything Apple Pro. Go and check out his channel. He's got really good content, and he's done these 3D renders. And apparently, the design's going to be sleek and simple. So nothing crazy or wacky. No cameras. These are actually AR sensors just there. He's done some really nice 3D renders here. He's got someone to do some 3D renders here, and this bit is not a camera, it's a light sensor or LiDAR. So be interesting to see what it does. And yeah, again, you'll need an iPhone, so unfortunately it won't be for Android users, but iOS users will love these glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how this will actually be, but I know, like, if you compare things like the Apple Watch, when they first came out, it was very iPhone heavy, like very dependent on the iPhone, and then gradually after a few generations, then they started to be almost like their standalone device. So I wonder if we'll end up seeing the same kind of thing, where it will start off really reliant on iPhone, and then gradually, kind of as they hopefully get their own OS and their own software, it will kind of become a bit more standalone-ish, so you don't have to use it with an iPhone.
Yeah.
But it's interesting it doesn't come with a camera, but I don't know if that's to do with privacy or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's to do with privacy. Obviously, if you're walking around with cameras in glasses that can take photos at any moment, I think people won't be happy with that. Could be their privacy being faded. I think Snapchat had Snapchat glasses. I can quickly bring up an image on screen for you. These were a massive flop as well. I think they were quite expensive when they came out.
They were. I forgot all about those, actually.
So if I bring up this on screen, you'll be able to see it. Let's have a look. So these are the Snap glasses. So that's what they look like, a bit funky. And personally, I wouldn't wear them. Would you, Jack?
Do you know what? I actually think I would wear them. I'm not going to lie. I think they actually look kind of cool. I don't actually remember too much about the tech behind it, because I know it was a year ago or so now. But I mean, they're not the most amazing glasses I've seen, but I would have probably, especially at the time, I probably would have worn them just because of kind of what they were, almost.
Yeah. Animation Switch says, yeah, there's no way Apple would allow it to work on Android. Money, money, money. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. They want people to stay within their ecosystem, so it makes sense for them to only let the glasses work with iOS devices, which is a shame, but it's a smart business.
I agree with you there. Yeah, I can't ever imagine Apple allowing something to work with Android, as much as it would be great if they could, but I don't think that's something we're seeing anytime in the future.
So other notes I've got like it says, like the Apple glasses were meant to be released at the iPhone 12 event, so Q4 2022. Well, 2020, sorry. So I don't see that happening because of the lockdown. Obviously, that's put massive pressure on everything. So we're probably looking towards Q1. So the March, they normally do a press conference and a keynote around March time. So if they release the Apple glasses around then, pretty cool. I think people can wait to then, to be honest.
For sure. I mean, I saw as well that Apple really want the press there, and because it's a brand new product, they would want the media to go there. So I think in terms of when they release it, it will definitely depend on whether those social distancing measures are still in place or if they're reduced. But I think Apple won't want to release the product unless they can make a really big deal out of it and kind of give it the attention that they would want. So I do think COVID might depend on the release date. But normally the iPhone 12 is their big flagship event of the year. So, you never know. You never know what will happen. But I think looking more towards probably 2021.
Yeah, I think any new sort of tech like that, where it's a new, one of a kind of never been done before, yeah, it'll probably be pushed back to next year because they've got other devices which they can.
For sure. I mean, we're still waiting for the wireless charger that they were going to bring out a few years ago. So who knows how long it will take.
But Jack, would you buy a pair of these glasses if they released them? Say end of year, they were $499 plus prescription. What they say. So let's say $600. Would you go out and buy a pair of these glasses?
Do you know what? I probably would, especially the first generation, because I think if they're brand new and they're almost like something iconic, then I would probably want to do it just to see what they're like if I could afford to do it. I wear glasses anyway, so I guess in a way I could kind of justify it. But I can imagine myself going for the first one just because it would be, if it's a revolutionary product. So I think I would, but then again, it's cost depending. That's assuming it's at $499 or £400. I think if it was £800, then could I really justify it? I'm not so sure. So it would be cost dependent as well. But certainly, if I could, I would love to get them. What about you, Sam? Do you think you'll get them?
Yeah, I think if it was a clean, sleek glass design, I would like to get them. It just depends what phone I'm using at the time. It could be an iPhone, it could be an Android. If they don't link with Android, may have to give it a miss. I don't fancy going out and getting an iPhone just so I can use these Apple Glass, but I would like to get them and test them out and have the first gen, as you would say. They also become a bit of a collector piece if they're first gen.
Yeah.
That's what always happens with Apple devices. They come collectors if they're first gen.
For sure. I mean, what we usually see in reality, I guess, with Apple products is the first generation is never the best. They tend to kind of refine it in the second and third generations. So then that's when we really see the true potential of the device. But hopefully that first one will kind of give it the excitement and the buzz, I think, around the product. So hopefully it will come out and it'll be good. But again, we have to really just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, if I'll share my screen, I'm going to show you another image of the Apple glasses, just so you can get a close up of them. Let's add that to stream. See, it's funny. I'm an Android user, but I'm actually using an iMac. So say as that as you wish. iMacs just work really well. Where did this image go? Yeah, here they are. Here's the image that someone's rendered up. So yeah, they look pretty sleek. If they look like this, I'll be more than happy to buy them. Again, it's a luxury item. It's not a must-have item, but pretty cool. Got concerns about the item though. What if you're driving along and then something flashes up in front of your eyes?
That's a very good point. I mean, that is, I guess then, I mean, Apple devices do have a lot of things like in your phone, you can't access your phone when you're driving. So I'm assuming they have some kind of technology which is similar that can recognize that if you're in a car and on the notifications. That's a really good point, though. I mean, I hope so. You never know what will actually happen, but I think something like that would need to be in place in order for it to be practically viable and to stop accidents and things. Because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, because I already get notifications from my phone through my watch. So do I really need to see through my glasses as well? I didn't know.
This does actually remind me of one thing which does annoy me a lot of Apple is they have their drive thing, which is fantastic. Like you can't access your phone when you're driving unless you can change it. But what I found is when I tried to use Siri when driving, it won't allow me to because we're driving. Which again, if you're trying to use hands-free, it kind of defeats the purpose of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that issue with Apple, and when it's in drive, when you're driving, it disables quite a few features. So
yeah,
pain, and yeah, you're trying to use hand-free kind of features, but it won't let you.
I mean, I think it's great that you can't use it while you're driving. I think that's really good. I think that's a really good feature. But I do think things like Siri you should still be able to use because the idea is you don't want to be touching your phone. And at least if you talk to your phone, then you're not touching your phone and it avoids that temptation. So I found that really, really strange that actually happened.
Cool. Yeah, I'll show a couple more screenshots from this video. I think you guys should go and watch this video. I'll put it in the description when this video is ended, so you can go and have a look. Again, everything Apple Pro. It just goes over. If I play it, you can see the design.
It reminds me of Ray-Bans a little bit. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, they do kind of look like Ray-Bans. They are pretty slick. Let's have a look at more of the glasses. So yeah, again, this is the price of the glasses. It goes into a lot more details. But yeah, they would fly off the shelf, to be fair. So
I think they would. I mean, I think anything Apple sells will probably sell very quickly. But I think even if they're not amazing, I think people will still buy them.
Okay, cool. I think we should go on to our next topic, which is, I'll bring up the banner. I forgot to do it for the last one. Electric scooters legal in the UK. So will they become legal in the UK? Apparently so. So I'm really excited for this. What do you think, Jack?
I hope so. I mean, I didn't even realize they wasn't really legal. I think I always found it quite confusing because you don't really see people around them. But I know in lots of other cities and things, they are, especially European cities, and you can pay the money on, I can't remember what it's called, but you pay the money on the app or whatever, and then you can cycle around and
Lime scooters.
So I don't really see why it's illegal, to be honest. I think if it helps people get around, it's certainly better for the environment and driving. So yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't be legal.
We got a comment from Bethany Dobus. She said, can't wait for that. So she's really looking forward to going on the electric scooters, which is good to hear. Myself, I can't wait. I went on some on Budapest, in Budapest with my girlfriend, went on it, and it was just so fun. And using the Lime scooters, easy and really cheap. You just scan the QR code, jump on, ride about, and Yeah, great fun. And what else is there to say? Yeah, good for the environment, as you said. I think it's funner than a bike, better than e-bikes as well, scooters. We got a comment from Anime Switcher, 100% getting a scooter. Yes.
Nice.
And if you were going to get a scooter, what scooter would you get? There's loads in the market. I recommend just Xiaomi. That looks amazing.
Sam, what would your recommendation be if you had to choose one top electric scooter?
It'd be the Xiaomi M35 Pro. I believe that's the model, the Pro model. You can actually jailbreak that and make it go faster. So if you're up for doing that, do it, and you'll have loads of fun. There's loads of little mods and little pieces you can buy to upgrade it, and you can make it really fast. Commuting to work, I would love one. Milton Keynes, which is my current hometown and Jack's old hometown, are actually trialing electric scooters. So I want to bring up this article on screen now. So
I have to say, I think in Milton Keynes it would work really well, particularly because of the redways and things and the speed you could probably get up to.
So electric scooters hire scheme to be launched next month in Milton Keynes. So this is really exciting. They're going to provide a fleet of 50 scooters. Hopefully they're pretty good graded ones. If they're the Xiaomi ones, brilliant. I know the Lime ones, they use a certain brand, and they went fast and they were fun. So what more would you want?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a nice little difference as well compared to e-bikes. So I think, yeah, and then to get up to a good speed, I think it'll work really well, especially in Milton Keynes. I think it's a great place for them.
And here we go. It says electric scooters to get the green light to go on Britain's public roads. So again, I've seen loads of people actually riding these about Milton Keynes. So I'm actually very tempted just to get one now and have one ready for when they get the green light. I can see myself commuting to work because I pay £50 a month just to park outside work. So I could ride this. It only cost me a couple of quid to charge it a month maybe. So yeah, it'd be fun as well.
I guess as well, if the cost is lower to charge and then it actually goes quite quickly, then it's almost more efficient. And I mean, if it doesn't take that long to get to where you need to work, I think it would work really well.
Oh, we got a new comment. So Casti said, scooters are awesome. I used Lime in Warsaw and Bird, I think it was called, in Paris. Oh, that's really cool. So
nice.
yeah, I've used Lime, but I haven't used Bird. But
Casti, how was the Bird one? That seems interesting. In Paris, I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, they are great fun. If you go to a European country, you've got to give it a try. I was dying to go on one and finally went on one and I thought, yeah, this is awesome. Makes you feel a bit lazy afterwards, but when you're on it, you're just having loads of fun. So
I saw them and I was a bit dubious of getting on them. But actually now when I look back, I think why was I like that? And it's probably because they were illegal in the UK, but they just look like so much fun. And I do think that would be great here.
So we got a new comment from Bethany Dover. Brussels also has them, very easy to use and felt safer than an electric bike. Yeah, that's the thing with the electric bike. The one that I have, the Jetson Bolt, it's actually twist style throttle. So if you twist it too much, you just go and it can like literally go out your hands and go into a car. But the scooters, you got them, give it a little bit of kickstart, and then you go and you can just stop really quick. Yeah, it's great. I love them, and you can pick one up for less than £400. So if you're commuting to work and you can use Redways and it's legal, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting thinking about Brussels. Actually, I couldn't imagine. Like I haven't been to Brussels in about a year or so, but I can just imagine that being so cool. Like in the central square bit, going around with the scooter. That's awesome.
Got a new comment there. Do you want to read it out, Jack?
Yep. So great news for the UK. But restricted in 12 miles an hour. I didn't realise that it's restricted to 12 miles an hour. But yeah, 60 miles an hour. I mean, if you could get it that fast, that would just be amazing. Very, very quick.
Death trap, won't it? Is 60 miles an hour.
I mean, you have to be pretty brave to go 60 miles an hour, but just imagine if you could and it would save, how much fun that would be. I can't see Cassie's comments. I've got a little message symbol on the way.
So we've just got one on screen. Do you want to read out that, Jack?
What's that, Sam?
Do you want to read that one? Can you see it?
Oh, fab. In my opinion, the bird is more sleek than the lion one. Interesting. I don't actually know what the bird one looks like. Does it look?
Yeah, I'm not sure what brand bird actually used. Let me have a quick type. Which brand is bird scooter? Let's have a look. So they actually use the Xiaomi M635. So yeah, that's the one that I recommended. So Casty, yeah, if it's that good, and you can pick them up for less than £400 if you're looking in the right places. So I think I'm going to get one.
It's interesting. As I've googled e-bikes, or so e-scooters, the first thing that has come up on my screen is a mobility scooter, which is just maybe you want to buy that, Sam?
No, I'm okay. I'm still physically fit for now, so I don't need a mobility scooter.
Are you sure it's 10% off?
Let's have a look at your screen, Jack. Let's have a look at this. That's under 400 quid actually.
£400.
And they are actually legal in the UK. So
and next day delivery available, Sam. I feel like, why get an e-scooter when you can get a mobility scooter? 4 miles an hour as well, very quick.
What's the range on that, Jack? What's the range? What does it say?
Well, let's have a look. So you can go 7.5 miles on a full charge.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't get me to work.
Shame. It's a real shame.
Maybe we get a Tesla battery, put it on the back, plug it in, and see how fast it goes.
Oh, that would be incredible. I wonder if Tesla would ever do a e-bike or e-scooter. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would be good fun, to be honest. So yeah, that's electric scooters. Jack, if they became legal tomorrow and you had the opportunity to go and buy one for £400, would you buy one?
Do you know what? I probably would. I don't say I would necessarily need one, being in London, but I do love the idea of being able to have one. So if it was £400, I think I would go for it, just because of how cool they are. But yeah, I mean, I love the idea of them. I'd have to have a go on one properly first, I think, before I just went straight on the road to one. But they do look like lots and lots of fun. What about you, Sam? Would you buy one straight away?
Yeah, I would definitely pick one up. I've been debating getting one and commuting to work on it. Again, I'd save petrol, I would save parking, and I could just fold it up and put it in my office. Wouldn't have to worry about it. So, and I could charge it at work. So,
I mean, I'm actually just thinking about post-COVID as well, actually, and actually while the government are trying to avoid us to use public transport, actually something like an e-scooter or electric scooter would be fantastic at this kind of time. So actually it would be a perfect time to almost make it legal.
We got a message from Awkwardly Sneaky. He said, "Naughty, I'll pick one up for Amber. I think you're talking about a mobility scooter there, so I'm sure she will enjoy that." And then he said, "We had a wild night." Okay, so that's
a wild night on the scooter.
Yeah, you can go out for a ride, treat her. It sounds good. And it was under £400. I said you could pick one up for £400. Yeah, that'd be great. We've got a message from Rob here as well. Yes, a Tesla e-scooter travel 400 miles on one charge. Now, that would be a dream. You would only have to charge it up once a year.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, one day Tesla is the future. So who knows?
Definitely, Dover's got a valid point here. She said, "Might get a bit wet when it rains." Yeah, it's waterproof. If you don't mind getting wet, I suppose you can wear a raincoat. Just depends if you want to brave it. Maybe when it's raining, you use your car, and when it's not raining, you can use the bike.
Can you attach an umbrella? That's actually a really good question. I don't know the answer to that. Do you, Sam?
If I had one, I could make a video trying to do it. I wonder if anyone's done it. It would be pretty funny.
I almost think they should have like some kind of like protection on top, actually, if it does rain or if it's windy or something.
But yeah, you could, if you're wearing your suit to work and you're going on to work in one, I think, you might need some waterproofs over the top. I don't know. Pretty funny situation. But, you'll be going so fast, you won't even get wet.
That's true.
Okay, right. Shall we move on to our next subject, Jack?
Let's move on.
So the title of this one is iPhone SE 2 2020. Is it worth it? Now, Apple's just released the new iPhone SE. I'm going to bring it up on screen for you now. Okay, so here it is. You think, I've seen this phone before. And Jack, you've seen this phone before. So what are your thoughts on it?
Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting concept. I mean, a lot of the specs are very similar to the iPhone 8, which came out, I think, 2017, 2018. So a lot of the things they've done are almost recycled from that device. The strangest thing for me is seeing an iPhone now back with the home screen, and the fact they brought back the home screen after trying to almost get away from it.
You mean the home button?
Sorry, the home button. See, it's been such a long time since I've even used it. I'm getting the words wrong. But yeah, I think it's a good device. It's a lot cheaper compared to the rest of the iPhones. I think when you look at other phones kind of in that price range, I think it is the best value for money. Of course, I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you want a cheaper iPhone. And I think if you I want an iPhone but don't want to pay the £800, £900, then I think it's worth it. But I mean, it's kind of is what you get, isn't it? It's a cheaper version of an iPhone. So it works. You're not going to get the most amazing specs. You know, the camera will work. It will be good. Not going to be the most amazing. The screen resolution, good. But then it's not going to be as good as kind of phones now. But again, everything will work, and it should probably work for a few years' time. So I think not the best phone, but at the same time, for the price you're paying, I think it's very well suited for that.
Yeah, to back up what Jack's saying, it's they're using the old body of the iPhone 8, 7, and 6. So they've had parts laying about. Basically, they're good at recycling their old parts. Here we got the original iPhone SE. Managed to pick this up for £40, and it's in great condition. And this was recycled from the parts of the iPhone 5. So this is a great design and the smallest form factor iPhone. So they wanted to keep the small form factor. This is the smallest iPhone that they sell, the brand new iPhone SE. Again, it's recycled parts. The screen is not what the screen should be in 2020. It's okay. The screens are okay. It's 720p. It's a 4.7 inch. So if you like the smaller displays, it's good. Again, it's got the home button and the big bezels. I mean, they could have just put in a nice screen, and it would have been. I would have bought it in a heartbeat. I mean, for £419, that's great. It's better than over £1,000 for the brand new flagship. But again, recycling parts, I don't know.
It's interesting because I think the fact they're using old parts is probably why they can keep it so cheap, because by them using parts they've used before, they're not necessarily having to research new ways of doing things, which again keeps costs down. And a lot of those things, lots of the parts in the phone they've made already. So again, it keeps the cost down. I think that's how they managed to keep it at that £400 price range.
Yeah, I think £419 for someone who wants a brand new phone. Again, it's a really good price. If you don't care about the bezels and the home button, I mean, Touch ID works really well and it's fast. It's the latest version of Touch ID on it. So if you don't want a big notch on your phone, maybe you do go for this phone. And the A13 chip, that's the same chip out of the latest iPhone, which costs over £1,000. You're getting it for £400. So if you think of it like that, it's actually a really good deal.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not bad at all. I think one of the real downsides is because the phone is so small. It means the battery life isn't as good. And I guess that's the thing about having such a small device when you compare it to the kind of 11 Pro Max, where the batteries are much bigger. But then again, what do you expect for the phone of that size? And for the size it is, it probably fits in your pocket quite well. So it's probably quite refreshing compared to the phones now, which is so much bigger. And actually, their specs aren't, they're not too bad. Again, considering how old some of the technology within the phone really is.
Yeah, I'm glad they've bumped up the standard one to 64 gigabyte. I mean, it should be 128 gigabyte, really. It should be that standard. It's 2020. I mean, memories don't cost anything nowadays. So, yeah, it could even come with 256 as standard. I mean, my Note 10 comes with 256 as standard. So,
although Sam, I completely agree with you, but of course, I'm sure part of the reason they do that is because Apple have this perfect solution, which is you can pay for iCloud storage, which you can upgrade for. So in a way, I feel like it's probably, as much as I completely agree with you, I'm guessing part of that is so that they can push their iCloud on top of that as well.
Cassidy said, interesting. It seems like a phone built for the people who maybe don't care about technology. Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Cassidy. I think if you think, oh, an iPhone's an iPhone, I can get the latest iPhone for £419. Yeah, let's go out and get it. And it's going to work perfectly. It's going to be fast. It's got a good camera. It goes 4K video. Everyone hears this 4K thrown about. They don't know what it means, but they know 4K is the latest tech, and this new iPhone's got it, and it's cheap. Let's buy it. It's an iPhone. I think that's maybe how they're thinking. Yeah. What do you think, Jack?
I agree. I mean, I think for the average user who's going to use their phone, it's going to work. Obviously for lots of people who really want the latest tech and the good camera and the faster processing speed, then of course it's not going to be the phone for you. But for an average user, I think about my grandma, for example. She could probably use it fine. She probably wouldn't even notice the difference between the fast one and the slow one, because if you're not interested in the tech, then it doesn't necessarily matter as much. But yeah,
We've got a new comment from Bethany Dover. Do you think phones will start looking at how they can recycle more parts to make their products more sustainable? So Apple actually offer a service where they can recycle all the parts of your old iPhone. So they're good in that sense, but when you give it to them, you won't get any money back. It's they recycle it. They just take it off your hands. So you won't get any value back. I think the only way you get some value back is if you put your phone in for the upgrade program. But yeah, they are looking at being sustainable, and that's what I actually credit Apple on. They have really looked into being a sustainable brand.
Yeah, no, I think in fact Apple, I think is sort of part of their image as well as sustainability and looking after the environment. I think where they can, I'm pretty sure they try to use recycled material as much as they can. Of course, a lot of their things are made in China, I think, as well. So lots of their things, some of their things aren't, but then I think they're trying to do what they can anyway. Which is, I guess, a step in the right direction. I mean, I'm sure there's more things they could do to be more sustainable. But
yeah, if you type in Apple Recycle program, you'll be able to learn more about that. Obviously, it does matter to a lot of people, and they want to know that the phones that they're getting, they're actually for about the environmental impacts. So it's a valid point, and I think we're going to see it more and more into brands where phones will be, this phone is 80% recycled, and that's going to appeal to a certain market, and people are thinking more about the impact they have. So yeah, we're going to probably see that in the market, and it's going to be good. So Jack, if you had a old iPhone say if you had the iPhone SE, the normal one, this still runs the latest iOS. Okay, let's say you've got, I don't know, got an iPhone 5, right? You're not into technology, it's slow, you're not getting the latest updates, you're out of storage. This new iPhone SE comes out, £400. Would you buy it?
Well, if you're frustrated with my phone, let's say, yeah, it was slow, I probably would. Um, you know, it's still an upgrade if you have an iPhone 5, for example. It's definitely going to be a big upgrade from that sense. So I would say I would buy it. Again, I think it. I mean, to be honest, I think it is a good phone. I haven't really used it myself. I've only just seen reviews and things, so I can't say from hands-on experience. But from what I've seen, it is actually a good phone, and it does work, which is good. And actually, for the price you're paying, if you're on a tight budget, then I think it's a well thought out phone. It's a good quality phone. So I would definitely say, yeah, buy it. I mean, I would buy it.
Yeah, if we have a look at the specs again, yeah, exactly the same as the iPhone 8, 7, 6, that kind of form factor. So if you love that form factor but just wanted some upgraded specs, you can get this. The thing with the iPhone, they do kind of feel like the same every year. They might have one new feature or a couple new features, but again, it's the same operating system. It's familiar. If you're upgrading, you wouldn't have a massive learning curve. So yeah, it's good in that sense, and it's good. It's good bang for your buck. I'm not going to lie. That the quality that comes out of the camera that they upgraded on the back is pretty amazing. Should watch some YouTube videos on that if you're thinking about buying one. Yeah, again, if I had the choice and I had £400, but I didn't really want to spend over a grand on the flagship, I'd get this. To be fair, there is Android alternatives, but what you got to keep in mind, an Android phone for £400 is not going to be upgraded every year and supported for years and years. This iPhone SE is 4 years old and it still runs the latest version of iOS. So that's 4 years. You can keep this phone for 4 years basically until you have to get a new one. That sounds like a good deal to me. If I share Jack's screen, he's looking at a video.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at an MK PhD video on the iPhone SE. And again, just looking at it, it does look really sleek and really nice. And this color's in red, which I'm pretty sure at the moment the money from the red one temporarily is going to COVID-19 charities, which I think is really good. But again, just looking at that, it works really well. I'm sure there's somewhere where he actually took pictures. But here it is, and you can see the camera actually isn't too bad. It works, which is good. Which again,
Yeah, I think it's just a good phone for the price range. It's the cheapest Apple phone out there. If you want an iPhone, go for it. We got a comment from Change the Words 2. Do you think Apple will improve upon these specs in 2020? And then he put 2021. I mean, so yeah, I think they will improve upon these specs. There will be a new chip in the next iPhone 12, but they're going to use the leftover chips, and they're going to carry on making the A13 to put into these new iPhone SEs. So they're going to be supporting these chips, and it's ridiculously fast. The A13. Jack, you got the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and what do you think about the speed on that?
do you know what? It is really fast. I feel like it's one of those things where you don't even, after a while, you just don't notice. You just get, you end up getting so used to it. But I think that's because I've upgraded from the different iPhones every year. But it works really well, which is good. It is really fast. It's really light in your pocket. The display is really good, and also the Super Retina XDR display works really well. So yeah, I think it's really, you do notice a big difference, particularly on the the Pro. But yeah, I love using it. I think the specs are really good. It's fast, it works well. Yeah, I mean, Sam, you had the iPhone, didn't you, as well, for briefly, if I remember?
Yeah, I had the iPhone 11. I got it, wasn't impressed with it. The thing was, it used the same display as the iPhone. Or now I need to think. I'm not good with iPhone names off the top of my head. It was the iPhone X XE. No,
I don't know what the iPhone X is, Sam. Can you
yeah,
elaborate?
the iPhone XE. I
The
think
iPhone,
that's the one. So
iPhone X.
the iPhone XE, XR. Sorry, XR. I was so close. So the iPhone 11 is basically the iPhone XR with improved specs. So it only had two cameras and it had an LCD screen, not the OLED. Now, the LCD screen has a lower resolution and it wasn't impressive. For the price point, it wasn't impressive. Basically, if you wanted the top of the range iPhone, you would have to go for the iPhone 11 Pro. So you go out, that's the same one as Jack's. Now, Jack's has got the Max, and that's the size I would want. I wouldn't want the other iPhone as X S, no, 11 Pro. The naming of iPhones,
I mean,
yeah,
it depends on your preference. I mean, for me, the big screen I think makes such a big difference, and the display is so much clearer on the Pro Max. I wouldn't necessarily say you need it, but I think that display is just that much better, which for me I love. But again, it depends on your preferences. I know Sam wasn't as impressed with his iPhone, and
no.
rightly so.
I think I would have kept it if it was the Pro. To be honest, if it was the Pro, it has a nicer display. It's got the three lenses. It's got bigger battery. I wasn't impressed with the battery life of the iPhone 11. When I sent it back, they soon released an update and said it was a fault. They actually patched it, so the battery life was better once I sent it back. But I wasn't impressed with the battery life. They kept banging on about how the battery life's better, but it wasn't. So I wasn't happy with it at
Yeah,
all. So I just sent
I
it back.
mean, to be honest, even with the 11 Pro Max, the battery life was really good when I first got it, but I still feel like it's starting to get worse.
All right.
Gradually. So when I first got it, I was having to charge it every 2 days, and I thought, wow, that's amazing for an iPhone. I've never had to do that before. But now that's not the case. Now I'm having to charge it every day, and it happens to most iPhones anyway. But I didn't think it would happen as quickly as what it has done.
So I've got the Note 10 Plus 5G. This is a luxury device, and to be honest, I could have got the not the iPhone, the Samsung S10. I could have got that. I could have got the bigger version, the Plus version of that. This has just got the pen. It's got 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is ridiculous. It's got a really fast chip. It's got great cameras. To be honest, I don't think I need to upgrade for a couple of years, and I probably won't, just because this does it all. But again, you get what you pay for, I suppose. This was a flagship device, and it ticked all the boxes. And I use this a lot because of work every day, and I take loads of photos, videos. I'm a power user of the device. And I would say, yeah, it's a great device, and you can get even cheaper now. And the battery life is amazing compared to the iPhone. This like absolutely wiped the floor with it. Maybe it's because I had one pre-patch or pre-update. But yeah, I haven't had an iPhone 11 Max to compare it to. But yeah, the fast charging on this as well. I can plug it in, leave it for 20 minutes, and then I've got like 30-40% back into the phone. Great. So, and they didn't have the USB Type C. That really annoyed me.
To be fair, that's probably ruined my battery partly. I did have the faster charging, and then I left the plug on the train on the Eurostar, so I haven't been able to take full advantage of that like I'd like to.
Oh, that's so annoying. I hate would like these chargers are getting expensive as well.
Yeah.
The fast charging Samsung's, the brick. I think the brick and the brick and the cable is £35. I broke my cable. I had to buy a new one. It's 15 quid. So for a cable. bit annoying, but hey ho. Again, it's a luxury cable, but is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah.
I think we're going to go on to the last topic. This is it's been good. It's been fun to do, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you think of the iPhone SE 2? Would you buy one? Let us know in the comments down below. And last topic of the day is retro tech of the day, and I think Jack has some tech he would like to show us.
I do. So I mean, it's an interesting device because it doesn't actually work at the moment. I've spent the last few days trying to fix it back up, but I've got the original iPad. This iPad came out in 2010. I actually bought it in West Edmonton Mall, I don't think it is anymore, but it was the biggest shopping mall in the world. I'm pretty sure now it's one in Dubai or something like that. But anyway, I was 15, saved up all summer to buy this iPad, and I remember kind of going to the Apple store. I think I paid 800 Canadian dollars, and it was just the most exciting thing I probably have ever had. And at the time, it was being able to watch things like South Park, kind of on kind of a screen, which of course you could never do at that time before. So it was like a revolutionary device like the iPhone. Little things I used to love with it, like going back, like making keynote presentations. I mean, I'm sure if anyone remembers Keynote, which was Apple's presentation software. I don't even know if that's even, I think I've still got it, but I haven't used it.
Yeah, I think some people still use that. I've got one manager who keeps going on about he keeps saying about the perks and how great the Apple products were, like the actual software that came with Apple, and then they just kind of split ways with their products. I think Keynote was one of those features that quite a lot of Apple iMac and iPad users did use.
Yeah, I mean, I think eventually it was just that again, it was free for a lot of cases, or if it wasn't free, it was really cheap to buy, and I think that was the main thing. But lots of apps, and like when you buy a Mac, for example, it would come pre-installed, which then means you didn't have to buy PowerPoint. But then the problem was, in a world where most people use things like PowerPoint and Microsoft Word, you couldn't just transfer them automatically. So I think eventually people just transferred and stuck to kind of the original, or what they know, which is good, but not good, but you know what I mean. But the iPad really was at the time, I think it was a revolutionary product. Of course, the first iPad realistically wasn't that great. It was like a big iPhone. I think they literally used, I think it was iOS 3, so they didn't even have their own iOS at that point. It was the same as the iPhone, but I think just looked how cool it was. I mean, I just loved the way it looked. I mean, of course, it doesn't have a camera or anything like that, so this really is a old device, and this is the Wi-Fi only model. But again, you know, it kind of reminds me of when I was 15, and just feeling so amazing being able to hold this product and use it. Not that I even did anything with it, but it was just so much.
I was jealous when you got that, and it was like a great device to get. I remember when they first announced one, and I was like, oh, I want to get one of those. Like, take it anywhere. Like, it's really cool. And just think like you got all them apps, and yeah, you can watch YouTube videos and on a big screen, portable. It's not, you don't have to pay for the whole computer. And it was just a very interesting device, and it was kind of people were thinking, how can this fit in? You got your desktop computer, you got your phone, you got a laptop maybe. Where does this fit? And it's still got that question in the market now. Where does tablets fit into? I think I use my tablet to watch stuff on Netflix and Amazon Prime in bed. That's what I actually use it for.
One thing I do find really interesting actually as well is there was, especially when the iPad came out, there's all these other tablets as well. Like I remember BlackBerry had the Playbook, and then Nexus had an iPad, Samsung, I mean, I think they still do. But it was interesting how the iPad still ended up dominating, I feel like, that market. I mean, you still have other tablets, but but I feel like Apple seems to just dominate the tablet market, and I think it just works better. I don't know what you think, Sam. There.
Yeah, I think tablets were interesting at that point. I think BlackBerry, BlackBerry Playbook. That is a device. Let me bring that up on screen actually, because I was half tempted to get one of those actually when it first came out. It's pretty. I think we should get one to do a review on, Jack.
Review. That'd be lots of fun actually.
I think that would be really fun. I don't know if you can. Can you see my screen? Let me put this on. Here we go. So yeah, this was a device. I mean, look at that. That was a slab. I remember someone had that actually. I think someone from my old workplace had one. And yeah, interesting.
I remember thinking just how great and cool it looked, but then I think it was like when you actually start using it after a while, then you realize it wasn't actually that great of a product.
I mean, that just looks like a Windows rip-off tablet, doesn't it? Just there, like the background, Windows XP, and I remember that you had to touch the BlackBerry sign and swipe up. Yeah, it was a very interesting device there. I think we should try and get our hands on one, Jack. I think people would like to see that. There is a place for old BlackBerry.
For sure. I mean, if you think BlackBerry as a brand almost changed the game, I mean, it's interesting now you look back and how iPhones dominated and pretty much wiped out BlackBerry, but BlackBerry really didn't have a strong standing ground, and I don't think we would see the tech we have today if it wasn't for what they also did. And I've just seen what Cassidy said. She probably wouldn't buy the iPhone, and actually, if you're going to get one, you might as well spend the full amount and get the better phone. And I have to say, I would probably do the same if that was me buying a new phone.
I think I would be the same with that as well. If you're going out to buy one, you buy one that lasts. If you're upgrading it every year again, it's up to you. I suppose it depends on your budget, but if you had the budget to buy the best one, buy the best one. If not, you can get a cheaper one, but still have the latest specs. So when you look at it like that, it's worth it. And iPhones hold their value pretty well, don't they, Jack?
They do. I mean, it's surprising actually how much value they do have. They last for a while, for quite a few years, so it is really surprising, I think, just how well they actually keep their value. I think even iPhones now, you could probably sell an old one for £200-300 probably. So yeah, they do keep their value pretty.
It's because they update it, they support it. The software's more optimized. iPhones before were slated for the battery life. Now it's a lot better. I know I was slating it earlier, but they fixed it. The problem in the iPhone 11. So again, it's just more of a brand thing, and they hold their value. So if you do get a more expensive device, it will last you longer. It will hold its value. So that's a thing you've got to consider. But yeah, going back to the tablets, the BlackBerry Playbook, the Android tablets of the day were terrible. I had a cheap one. I had the Nexus 7 actually, the first Google tablet that they released, their own brand. Which was partly created by LG, I believe, the tablet. I actually still have the Nexus 7. Now, that doesn't power on either, so maybe we should do a video on that, Jack.
We should. I mean, I've been trying to do the iPad now for a couple of days, and I'm still trying to just figure out exactly what I need to do to try and make it work. Because at the moment, you have to put it in DFU mode, and it gets to that point, and then it's when it goes onto iTunes, it'll just say an error has occurred. But I've been looking into it, and it could be the cable possibly, so I might try and see if I can get a new cable just to see if that's the problem.
Yeah, it's worth trying. We're going to try these things. As I say, we're going to get some more retro tech and do some more videos on it. So I think we're going to sum it up now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're watching it later, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It's our first time doing this, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Got hashtag tech recharged on the screen there. So yeah, what do you think, Jack?
Yeah, no, thanks everyone for watching. We really do appreciate it, and for joining in and all of the comments as well. It's great to hear, what you guys think. And yeah, thank you again for coming. We really do appreciate it, and for supporting the channel.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're updated every time we go live or put out a new video. Yeah, it's been a good experience actually doing this live stream. It's very easy just to talk off to the top of your head. It's more chilled, and yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, it's really nice actually just to talk to everyone and see what all you guys think about all of the different techs, all the different tech and things. So thanks everyone for your comments, and yeah, it's great to hear what you all think. So thank you.
If you've got any suggestions, what would you like us to talk about in the next episode, please put in the comments down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think that's the end. Hashtag tech recharged. And we'll catch you in the next TechFusions video.
Thanks everyone. See you soon.